This is Stephen Bourne with the Rye Civic League. As Monday night, this was a scary Halloween costume because of the Patriots, but they redeemed themselves with the Jets today. All right, for the top 10, the Rye water, I think if you live in the district, you know you're boiling water. There's updates, you can be getting alerts. We really don't know the cause of it. The wells are clean, the tanks have been cleaned, so it's somewhere in the distribution system. How long that's going to take to find or what has to do, we still don't have a date. If you're very interested in our water in Rye, we did a presentation in 2017 explaining the water in Rye. You can click on that and get updated on that. There are two alert systems in town that we use. The New Hampshire State Alert, so the people that got alerts right away, they registered for that. You can also, if you live in the Rye Water District, register for those alerts. You'll be getting the daily updates until we're on top of this problem. If you have trouble getting water, I think you know by now that the Rye Fire and Safety and others are distributing water at the Rye Fire Station, so you can go by and get there. Also, in the Rye Water District, in the meeting at the beginning of the month before they had the crisis, they pointed out they have some concerns that the PFOAs or PFOSs around our landfills are getting into our water, and the town, the Grove Road landfill, who's doing the testing, how frequently is it done enough? There are questions and concerns about that. That one. The other one too is at the select board meeting, the bridge between Rye and Newcastle and Rye. The select board did agree to write a letter to say they support a fixed bridge. For Rye, that means we just save money to improve the water line in that section of Rye because the water pressure is not sufficient for fire suppression. If you think that we should have a bridge that lifts for marine purpose or anything else, you need to hurry up and contact the Coast Guard, let your opinion be known. Unfortunately, I couldn't find exactly who to contact and when. My esteemed colleague.
Okay, so next we have Rye Civic League hosted Rye and Greenland Candidates Night last week. Around 100 people attended to interact with the candidates that are running for state races. We provided a link where you can get the information from that evening. New Hampshire DOT, it presented plans to the select board, I believe, for replacing Ocean Boulevard culvert, the one north of Lock Road. We provide you the presentation. Marine ecology was the leading design factor. The project cost will be reduced by closing the road during the construction. Construction is planned for 2025-2026. Let's see, so the new town administrator, Max Scruton, started in October. During the last select board meeting, the New Hampshire State Legislature update included a discussion about getting Rye a representative on the Pease Development Association. Just remember that the location on Pease that was previously to be developed for cargo is now going to be developed for what's being called an advanced manufacturing center. CBA had a very busy October with enough applications to require a second meeting. Year-to-date, wetland variances are the leading variances at 42%. Lastly, want to help create a great newsletter? Rye Civic League needs you to help us select the top 10, which you're hearing now, edit articles or write in-depth pieces. Please email us at civicnews@ryecivicleague.org.
Yeah, and join us at the end of the month, the last Wednesday of the month, when we have Rye Your Night Out. All right, we're standing in a cemetery. You're about to learn about Rye cemeteries and a lot of very interesting information about where this holiday came from. Alex, over to you.
Hello everybody, Alex Herlihy here on the 1-year anniversary of the Civic News video, which I believe we started last year in the fall in a graveyard. And here we are today at the Rye Central Cemetery, which was laid out in 1893. And we are standing in the oldest section of it, just across from the superintendent's garage. A lot of the people buried in this oldest section are actually died before 1893 because they were disinterred from the family graveyards at all the farms, some of them, and brought here. But as we know, of course, there were still 60 of those graveyards that are still with us. A couple of years ago, the Historical Society did a tour, a walking tour of the cemetery. Debbie Toohey and I picked out selective gravestones. It was fascinating because we'd never looked at it so closely. And John Kosher, the superintendent, helped us, and we staked out these certain stones. And we walked, starting way up on the hill behind the church, all the way down here. It's fascinating. This is one of the stones that we found. and I'll read you what it says on the inscription. Sheridan Philbrick, age 11, killed by lightning while at school in 1824. So you never know what you're going to find when you read these epitaphs. And of course, this brings to mind, here we are in a cemetery, the fate that awaits us all. It could be sudden death, it could be another kind of death, but here we are. And it's a place, of course, to remember death is very much a part of life. I'm mentioning this, of course, because we all know what time of year it is. We are halfway between the vernal equinox and the winter solstice. And for the ancient Celtic peoples, this meant Samhain, or however you pronounce this ancient Celtic festival, because they recognize this time of year is the dying part of the year. The harvest is over and we're going into this 6 months of the dead time of year as far as the earth is concerned. And they had huge festivals and recognized this starting thousands of years ago in ancient Northeast Europe. But the Mexicans as well, not the Mexicans, but the people of the ancient Middle Kingdom, the Aztecs, they recognized this as well, and that evolved into what we know today as El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And here they recognize at this pivotal time of the year, the spirits of the ancestors are very much alive and with us, and this is a chance to commune with them and to celebrate and honor those ancestors. So that's going on at this time of the year too. I know it gets mixed in with religious things later on, but I like to think about it with the most ancient peoples. And then, of course, we have Halloween. What the devil is that? Well, that's something, of course, that was brought over with some mixture of Celtic tradition by migrants who came across from Europe and settled North America. And they brought those traditions with them, and they began to evolve in the 1800s. But in my opinion, I think this is everybody's favorite time of the year. It's not a holiday, it's better. So enjoy these next few days, especially the Halloween parade tomorrow in Portsmouth. Thank you.